Welcome to G&AMP-H documentary YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the different types of forests and how they help in survival of natural life. Before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to G&AMP-H documentary channel for future updates. Forest covers 1/3 of the Earth's geographical area, with an estimated 3 trillion trees, many of which have yet to be identified. This massive forest holds over 70% of all carbon found in living things, or around 296 gigatons of carbon in combined above and below ground biomass. Around the world, 1.6 billion people rely on the forest for their daily necessities and survival. Forests are critical in the fight against global warming because they can chill the air by up to 8 degrees. Civilization and exponential population increase, on the other hand, pose a serious threat to forests, resulting in pollution, deforestation, and industrialization, all of which are alarming. That is why we must understand the various types of forests found around the world, as well as their characteristics, features, and diversity. What are the different types of forests in the world? Tropical forest, temperate forest, and boreal forest are the three types of forests found worldwide. Forest, tropical. A tropical forest is defined as a forest that grows with remarkable diversity around the equator. It is located at 23.5 degrees north and 23.5 degrees south in the equatorial region. It can be found in Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America all along the equator. Despite the fact that the equator area is modest in comparison to the global forest area, it boasts the highest species variety. Within 1 square kilometer, there are up to 100 different tree species. Only 2 seasons, rainy and dry, exist in the tropical region. Winter does not exist, and there are approximately 12 hours of daylight. It rains a lot here, with an annual rainfall of around 200 centimeters, and the temperature is mostly kept between 20 degrees and 25 degrees. Because this type of weather supports the growth of many different plants, the tropical rainforest is the richest and most diverse of all the numerous types of forests on the planet. Tropical rainforest characteristics. Around 100 distinct tree species can be found in a square kilometer of land. The trees are 25 to 35 meters tall and thickly populated. The branches and leaves prevent much light from passing through and reaching the ground. The majority of trees are evergreen and have enormous dark green foliage. Other plants present in the tropical forest include orchids, bromeliads, mosses, ferns, vines, and palm trees. Monkeys, snakes, lizards, frogs, small animals, birds, and insects are among the wildlife that have adapted to life in trees thanks to this rich flora. It is natural to assume that the soil is extremely rich because it supports an excessive amount of life. However, this is not the case because soil/nutrient leaking is an issue. The soil is deficient in most key nutrients and is acidic. All the nutrients that come from decaying plant and animal products are only found in the top thin layer. The tropical rainforest provided 25% of the medicines we currently use, among other forest kinds. And it's worth noting that only 1% of rainforest plants have been investigated for medicinal purposes. Unfortunately, more than half of the world's tropical rainforests have already been lost. Evergreen, there is no dry season and it rains all year. Seasonal, very brief dry season, generally rainy and humid tropical climate that encourages the growth of evergreen forests. However, because the forest undergoes distinct seasonal changes, the trees also develop at the same time. Dry, there is a long dry season, and the trees are deciduous. Mist and fog, rather than rain, are the main sources of precipitation in the montane. The cloud forest is a common name for this type of woodland. The environment is dry and warm in tropical and subtropical coniferous areas. Conifers, which are suited to changing weather, can be found here. Subtropical woods are found to the north and south of tropical forests, and the trees have adapted to the dry summer season. Forests of the temperate zone. The temperate forest, among other types of forests, is located in the next latitude ring after the tropical rainforest. North America, Northeastern Asia, and Europe are all affected. The seasons are clearly defined, with 4 distinct seasons, and a notable winter. This allows for 4 to 6 frost-free months and 140 to 200 days of growth time. The weather is temperate, with temperatures ranging from -30 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius. It receives 75 to 150 centimeters of rain yearly, which is evenly spread throughout the year. Temperate forest characteristics. The forest is deciduous, which means that the trees shed their leaves. Seasonal changes cause the leaves to change color and fall over the winter. Around the world, temperate forests make up a substantial share of the tree composition. Because of rotting plant and animal carcasses, the soil is rich in nutrients and fruitful. Although the canopy is dense, it is not as dense as that of a tropical rainforest. It allows light into the forest floor. It results in well-developed and diverse ground vegetation, as well as animal stratification. Although it lacks the diversity of a tropical rainforest, it does contain 3 to 4 tree species per square kilometer. Oak, hickory, maple, cottonwood, basswood, beech, hemlock, willow, elm, and spring-flowering herbs are among the plants included. Rabbits, squirrels, skunks, birds, mountain lions, bobcats, deer, timber wolves, foxes, coyotes, and black bears all live in the temperate forest. Many of the trees in this area have sap that prevents the root from drying out and freezing during the winter. Temperate forest animals are particularly adaptable to seasonal variations due to the presence of multiple well-defined seasons. The temperate woodland biome can be divided into 5 distinct zones. The zones are determined by the tree's height. Animals in the mountain ecosystem and the food web are also topics to research. Under temperate forest, there are several subcategories. Mild winters with concentrated rain and dry summers, moist conifer and evergreen broad-leaved. Dry conifer, there is less precipitation, and the forest is found at a higher elevation. Mediterranean, a temperate region to the south of the temperate zone, centered on the shore. Almost every tree is evergreen. Temperate broad-leaved rainforest, the climate is temperate, with a moderate winter and high precipitation that is equally distributed throughout the year. Evergreen trees are those that remain green throughout the year. Forests of the Arctic. Between 50 and 60 degrees north latitude, the boreal forest, also known as taiga forest, can be found. It can be found across Eurasia and North America, particularly in Siberia, Scandinavia, Alaska, and Canada. Boreal forest characteristics. There are 2 seasons. One is a moist and pleasant summer that lasts only a few weeks, and the other is a long, cold, and dry winter. Temperatures can drop as low as -40 degrees Celsius and rise as high as 20 degrees Celsius. There is less precipitation, roughly 40 to 100 centimeters per year, and it is usually distributed as snow rather than rain. Because the canopy is dense and does not allow light to flow through, the understory is limited. Trees are evergreen conifers with needle-shaped leaves that thrive in cold climates. Pine, spruce, and fir trees can be found here. In the boreal forest, you can see woodpeckers, hawks, bears, moose, lynx, weasels, foxes, deer, hares, wolves, shrews, and bats. However, as with other types of forests, widespread logging may eventually result in the boreal forest's extinction. Beautiful forests can be found all across the world. From Australia to Uganda, forests come in all shapes and sizes, and they are some of the best places on Earth to escape the stresses of modern life. Ethereal green bamboo, dense jungle, and rows of evergreen pines. Forests come in all shapes and sizes, and they are some of the best places on Earth to escape the stresses of modern life. Now, with this list of the world's most beautiful forests, you can get closer to nature. Costa Rica's Monteverde Cloud Forest. The central highlands of Costa Rica are always enveloped in mist, giving visitors the impression that they have been transported to another world. This biodiverse region is home to some of the world's most magnificent landscapes, which are dotted with exquisite cloud forests. Costa Rica's woods are recognized for their lofty heights and lush vegetation, and the country is home to 6 distinct cloud forest zones. Monteverde is the country's most well-known cloud forest resort, surrounded by stunning scenery and abundant animals. The Santa Elena and Monteverde reserves encircle this small hamlet on both sides, providing many opportunities to get up close and personal with nature. Travelers can rappel down majestic waterfalls, zip line through foggy canopies, and stroll along tall suspension bridges among these mysterious cloud forests. These beautiful cloud forests are also close to the Arenal volcano, where adventurous hikers can see ocelots, butterflies, umbrella birds, and endangered quetzal birds while hiking along routes frequented by ocelots, butterflies, umbrella birds, and endangered quetzal birds. The cloud forests of Costa Rica have a constant temperature of roughly 29 degrees Celsius (84 degrees Fahrenheit) throughout the year. While it is a year-round attraction, the months of December through May are the driest, making them the perfect time to visit this lovely location. The Daintree Rainforest. Northern Queensland's Daintree Rainforest, designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1988, is one of the world's most important ecosystems. This lush green rainforest is so gorgeous that it inspired the scenery in the blockbuster film Avatar. The Daintree Rainforest is Australia's best-kept secret for nature lovers and adventurers alike. Visitors can go crocodile spotting along the Daintree River, trek through deep jungle, or zip through the forest canopy. The Daintree Rainforest is a wildlife enthusiast's paradise, with 122 rare and endangered species. The Daintree Rainforest, like many other endangered rainforests throughout the world, is under threat. Approximately half of the rainforest lowlands have been cleared since it was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Daintree is commonly regarded as the world's oldest tropical rainforest, dating back 135 million years, and it's a forest worth conserving. Rainforest rescue organizations are reclaiming land that is under threat, and income from rainforest excursions help to fund sustainable land management. You can be confident that you're experiencing the Daintree's spectacular beauty in a responsible and sustainable manner, as tourism contributes to the rainforest's survival. Northern Queensland is warm all year, with cool coastal breezes and warm waters. From May through October is the finest time to visit the Daintree Rainforest. This is Australia's winter and the dry season for the region, so it's ideal for escaping tropical downpours. Amazon Rainforest. Few people haven't heard of the world-famous Amazon jungle, which is known for its lush rainforest, isolated tribes, and unique fauna. Travelers will be spoiled for options because this massive natural phenomena spans 9 countries. The river is at its broadest in Brazil, spanning several kilometers. Because of the arid land, the forest trees in this area are older and higher than those found elsewhere in the Amazon. Visiting the Amazon in Ecuador provides an unrivaled cultural experience. Native guides are on hand to tour you around the region they are so familiar with, and the Waorani tribe who reside here has retained their way of life for decades. At the remote Waorani Ecolodge, a member of the native village greets visitors as they go on their Amazon adventure. Guests can learn about the Waorani people's interesting history, as well as the area's beautiful surroundings. Luxury expedition cruises along the northern Amazon in Peru transport visitors deep into the jungle. The flooded forest of Pacaya Samiria Reserve offers a completely different experience than Brazil's terra firma. Each tour has excellent guides, which adds to the enjoyment of exploring the flooded forest and visiting local settlements. Peru's Amazon is generally regarded as the location where humanity failed to leave its mark, as it is a beautiful and undisturbed landscape. The Bwindi Impenetrable Forest. The Bwindi Impenetrable Forest in Uganda is one of our favorite forests because of its gorilla tracking prospects. This forest is known for its lush rainforest and tropical animals, and is home to the world's largest concentration of primates. Bwindi National Park is home to around 10 habituated gorilla families, and tracking them is nothing short of thrilling. Bwindi's terrain is suited to more adventurous travelers, as you begin your walk on high land before dropping into a valley and undertaking a difficult ascent. Because the slopes are typically steep and there are no pathways, Bwindi has earned the reputation of being impenetrable. Taking on Bwindi's difficult conditions is worthwhile, though, because the park is home to an astonishing 79 mammal species, 160 tree species, and 100 fern species. Travelers will be able to see gorillas, gigantic forest hogs, elephants, and a variety of tiny cat species in addition to gorillas. Because it's impossible to predict where the gorillas will be at any one time, you could spend anywhere from half an hour to 9 hours looking for them. Visiting the Bwindi Impenetrable Forest, however, is an adventure in and of itself, as it is one of the world's most intriguing places. The forest, which covers an astonishing 32,000 hectares, and is a zone of unparalleled biodiversity, is located near Uganda's southernmost tip. Although September is considered the ideal time to come, Bwindi is fantastic for sightings all year. The months of June through August are especially excellent for visiting, as the lower rainfall allows for easier views. Wet seasons, which range from March to May and October to early December, are best avoided because they create for difficult trekking conditions. Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. The Arashiyama Bamboo Grove, located in Kyoto, is one of Japan's most popular tourist attractions for good reason. You'll feel as if you're entering into another universe as you stroll along the route that runs through the midst of the forest. The walkway is surrounded on all sides by soaring bamboo stalks, and there are numerous photo chances in this forest. These thick bamboo stalks appear to go on forever in every direction, and a gentle light gently fills the gaps between the trees. The forest stretches from the lovely Tenryji Temple's north gate to the Kaisan's mansion, and is at its most atmospheric on the approach to this villa. Kyoto's rainy season runs from mid-June through the end of July, with typhoons a possibility in September and early October. The weather clears up in October and November, while April and May are also nice. Because traveling to Kyoto between Christmas and New Year's is not suggested, these shoulder months are ideal for visiting the ethereal Arashiyama Bamboo Grove. Scotland's Great Trossachs Forest. Scotland's Great Trossachs Forest, one of the UK's largest national nature reserves, is a massive woodland restoration effort. More than 2.5 million trees have been planted in the first 10 years of the 200-year initiative, making the Great Trossachs Forest one of the world's youngest forests, and poised to become one of the world's largest in a few centuries. This newly planted forest, which covers 160 square kilometers, is expected to restore habitats for invertebrates, animals, birds, and other wildlife. The Great Trossachs Forest, which borders the gorgeous Loch Lomond, is one of Scotland's most beautiful. It's already bursting at the seams with rows upon rows of lush forest, and it's only getting bigger. This sliver of Scottish heaven is already known for its amazing natural beauty, but this ambitious landscaping project is poised to improve its reach. Scotland's national parks are best visited between May and June and September and October. The wildflowers and heather are at their peak in the spring and autumn, and Scotland's green landscapes really come into their own. The Highlands can be unpredictable, and rain might fall at any time of year, so bring your rain gear. Borneo Batong AI National Park. Borneo is a rainforest-covered island, and there are few better places to learn about the natural world than one of the country's several national parks. The Batong AI National Park is situated deep within the Borneo jungle, close to the Indonesian border. In the 1980s, the area was flooded to create a reservoir, and treetops can still be seen sticking out of the water. Longhouse tours, trail hikes, and longboat river excursions are all available in this deep forest for visitors looking to get off the main path. This area's allure is due as much to its inhabitants as it is to its natural surroundings. The Iban people reside in traditional longhouses along the river, where they were formerly infamous for decapitating their opponents and keeping their heads. Longboats may take you to these distant communities, where you can meet the Ibans and learn about their intriguing, old culture. Along with the beautiful people, the dense jungle is home to an incredible variety of wildlife, including hornbills, orangutans, and gibbons. Between March to October, when the weather is dry, is the greatest time to come. Lastly, we have Gir Forest National Park. Gir Forest National Park in India is the sole remaining bastion of Asiatic lions, making it a must-see for wildlife lovers. This national park, located in Gujarat's western state, has crucially essential protected forest. The iconic Asiatic lion originally roamed India, the Middle East, and Turkey, but was hunted to extinction in the early 20th century, with only 20 animals remaining. Since then, conservation efforts in Gir National Park and the surrounding sanctuary have resulted in a population increase of 650 in 2017. Gujarat's state animal is the Asiatic lion, and many residents live in surprisingly close quarters with their feline friends. Gur's mountainous terrain makes it a favorite habitat for jackals, leopards, antelopes, and deer, among other species. The months of December to March are the most popular for visiting Gur Forest, however it can get very congested during this time. From March through May, you're more likely to spot lions and other wildlife, but temperatures can get rather high at this time of year. Forests are revered by individuals who live in the countryside, and those who follow yogic or tribal traditions, who regard them as ancient, sacred, and mysterious. Others argue that woods are great biodiversity hotspots and the best technology we have to combat climate change, based on scientific rules. Yet, in the frantic and sometimes distant world of urban life, it's easy to lose sight of forests and their importance for the Earth's balance and our long-term existence. Let's have a look at why forests are important and what we can do to assist. What is the importance of forests? They cover 30% of the planet's land surface and are critical for the quality of the air we breathe, with the Amazonian rainforest providing 20% of it. Forests are also important for the quality of river waters that towns consume directly or indirectly, as well as for the water cycle's control. They also help to combat climate change by absorbing and storing CO2 in their biomass, keeping it from being released into the atmosphere. According to Scientific American, conserving forests has the potential to help us meet the Paris Agreement by 37%. There's more though. Much more. Forests reduce the effects of storms and floods by reducing soil erosion and strengthening the soil with tree roots. Forests are home to 80% of the world's biodiversity. And we owe a huge debt of gratitude to this great biodiversity for enabling human advancements in fields like healthcare, pharmaceutics, and, more recently, product eco-design as we learn from nature's finest practices. Have you ever considered what life might be like without forests? Not only for the more than 1 billion people who live in or near forests and rely on them for survival, but also for those who live in cities and metropolitan regions. We take forest raw materials such as wood and lumber and change them into a variety of products ranging from toilet paper, napkins, corks, and notebooks to heavier objects such as tables, chairs, and simply wood for burning. Avocados, acai, cocoa, coffee, mangoes, and a variety of other fruits and vegetables all come from woods. Act to assist in the preservation of forests. Every second, the equivalent of 1 football pitch of forest is gone. WWF estimates that roughly 8 million hectares of forest are lost each year, resulting in the loss of 17% of the Amazonian forest over the last 50 years, as well as other forestal areas in Indonesia and Congo. Not only trees are disappearing at an alarming rate, plants, animals, and insect species are also disappearing at an alarming rate, resulting in the extinction of 10,000 to 100,000 species per year, jeopardizing the Earth's balance. Furthermore, the destruction of forests generates between 12 and 17% of global GHG emissions each year. But what's the source of all this? Indirectly, you or someone you know is most likely representing the demand side. Companies in the extractive, transformational, and consumer goods industries which represent the supply side. The truth is that enterprises have been extending the size of farmlands and ranchlands, with the latter consuming large amounts of water and emitting greenhouse gases, a topic for another discussion. Other commodities such as palm oil, corn, and soy, like mine exploration and urbanization, take up a lot of land and are frequently related with deforestation, typically caused by illegally cut trees or fires. But it's not just about vegetables, meat, minerals from the earth, or structures. It's also about the amount of energy we use in cities. In some ways, the long-term viability of biofuels derived from agricultural crops, palm oil, sugarcane, or corn, and used in fossil fuels is a contentious issue. And the fact is that much of the energy used in developing countries, for cooking, heating, and transportation, comes from forests in the form of charcoal, wood, residuals, pellets, oils, sugar and starch crops, and other sources. Maintain climate stability. Because trees and plants regulate atmospheric temperatures through evapotranspiration and provide environmental breeze, forests act as climate stabilizers. The presence of trees, for example, in metropolitan areas can lessen the need for air conditioners. Large forests moderate regional temperatures by absorbing the sun's radiant heat and, as a result of evapotranspiration, encourage rainfall and a cool climate. Amplify the soil. Plants and trees assist in the recycling of soil nutrients by shedding leaves and small branches. Plant and tree roots also help to break down soil into smaller particles and increase water infiltration. The roots also absorb some water from surface runoff and slow down the flow, reducing soil erosion, which diminishes the soil's fertility. Controls the water cycle. Forests also have a role in the natural cycle of water evaporation, condensation, and precipitation in the form of rain. This is made possible by forests absorbing and spreading rainwater fairly evenly across their whole geographical expanse, a process known as water economics. Forests also collect a significant quantity of runoff and pass it down into aquifers, replenishing groundwater supplies. Medicinal properties. Forests, with their diverse plant and animal life, are intimately tied to medicinal research and pharmaceutical achievements. A large percentage of the drugs used in a variety of medical treatments are derived from forest plants and animals. Forests are home to a variety of amazing remedies, including cancer-fighting medications. Economic importance. Forests provide us with enormous economic benefits. Plantation forests, for example, give wood and lumber to humans, which is utilized in building and as a raw material for a variety of products. Furthermore, when people visit forest areas to see the magnificent scenery, as well as the species that inhabits the forests, the hosting nations and communities benefit financially. Forests also provide food and vegetables such as berries, tubers, and edible mushrooms that grow on forest floors, as well as rare animals such as wild rabbits. What can you do to assist in forest protection? You have the ability to act. You can quit buying or buy fewer types of harmful items by looking for those that are certified as fair trade or come from forests that are ethically maintained. If a large number of people contribute to a decrease in demand, it will have a major impact on providers. You can also inform your friends, family, and community about the problem and encourage them to do the same in theirs. By providing specific ideas or simply communicating your concerns, you may directly push firms to change and adopt a more sustainable route. If a large number of individuals do it, companies will recognize that you are expecting something different from them, and change will be easier. Also, ask political leaders for change and vote and utilize social media responsibly. Make an effort to create a beneficial impact on your company or the organization with whom you're collaborating. Develop projects, ideas, or communities in rural areas to aid in the fight against desertification and its consequences. Motivate people to change. Learn more about agroforestry, natural system complexity, and how it relates to our own human complexity. Spend less time on digital devices and more time in nature, with your loved ones. It will make you feel good, ask the Japanese, and connect you to the forest. Birds singing, monkeys howling, frogs calling, and insects buzzing in the morning. The crystal clear waterfalls, which are ideal for a cool afternoon dip. At night, fireflies illuminate the trees. We are all inspired by the beauty and calm of woods around the world, from the tropics to the tundra. We know that forests support more than 3/4 of the world's land-based life. Forests are home to over 750 million people, including 60 million indigenous people. Threats to the world's woods, however, are increasing. Most of the world's deforestation is due to increased agriculture as a result of population growth and dietary changes. Illegal and irresponsible logging, which is mainly motivated by a desire for cheap wood and paper, is responsible for the majority of forest degradation and is the greatest threat to the world's forests. Small trees, bushes, and plants are frequently badly harmed or killed in degraded forests, rivers are polluted, slopes are eroded, and more. The risks are so serious that we are rapidly losing large swaths of forest. The Amazon, the world's largest rainforest, has lost at least 17% of its forest cover in the previous 50 years as a result of human activity, primarily tree clearance to make way for new or larger farms and ranches. In the end, every action you can do to lower your carbon footprint will benefit the environment and forests. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.